Hi, my name is Raquel Perez, and I will be doing a video discussion board number 4 for medical anthropology course at Mesa College with Dr. Hurst on the movie A Walk to Beautiful about three Ethiopian women, Ayu, Alma, and Wabeta, and their journey to cure injuries sustained during childbirth. I'm going to be answering a couple of questions that she has given me, and here we go. Question number 1. Obstructive fistula are holes that are made in a woman's reproductive tract after giving birth. They are made due to prolonged birth periods that cause great strain on their bodies. In the movie, doctors stated it is due to the woman having such narrow birth canals and giving birth to children at such a young age. And it could also be accredited to having the child in the birth canal in a bad position. These holes are from the birth canal to the bladder and even to the rectum. And the fistulas can have between one hole, which is the birth canal to the bladder, or it could be two holes, double holes, from the bladder to the birth canal to the rectum, and I believe to the vagina as well. Now, the odds are very high in these small villages since they're very remote to the city and it takes hours and even days to get to the hospital for these women to get these fistulas taken care of and even get assisted during the birthing process. At times, these women are left for days, weeks to give birth, thinking that the child will be coming out in a couple of hours or a couple of days. However, this puts an immense strain on their bodies, which causes these obstructive fistulas and then causes even harm to their bladder and other internal organs. The women in these remote villages have certain biological factors that affect them. Since some may be old enough to give birth to children, however, their bodies are underdeveloped due to not attaining enough nutrients during important points of their development. This makes them much smaller, causing them to have problems when they become pregnant due to social obligations that they feel that they have to fulfill due to getting married and having to become homemakers as well within their own villages. Now, although women came from remote villages to the fistula hospital, they felt that they were the only ones with this kind of issue and whose family hated them for it. The fistula is a hole, as I explained earlier, but this hole causes a lot of issues in the sense that it leaves the woman leaking a lot of bodily fluids like urine or feces or blood, depending on how and where the hole is. So families sometimes ostracize these women from their own villages and make them live outside their own unit village or outside their own family homes. So they feel a lot of insecurities and even hatred is shown towards them and they're cast aside. The difference comes where Ayula believes her daughter should choose her own destiny and not be forced to marry as she was, but to encourage her to go back to school instead, or to continue her education. Almaza was forced into marriage, yet after time enjoyed it and wants to go back to her husband and regain her life. While Yabeta feels fear for her future due to having the fistula operation twice without any success. She then finds out it was the fact her bladder was destroyed during the birthing process. These women are all different, yet they all just want a shot of a normal life. Now, in the way they tell their stories, it allows others to listen and offers them a way to heal emotionally, mentally, and physically. This is why the hospital staff encourage them to share their story. The power of serving as a witness to their stories at the hospital to other patients is to tell them and those around them how their experience has changed them and how it gives others strength and empowerment to get the medical attention that they need to get these obstructive fistulas fixed. Now, one thing I would like to say to one of these women is, Iowa, I believe that's how you say it. I would like to ask Iowa what made her so compelled to stop with the tradition of marrying off her daughter and allowing her to pursue an education outside her village when it's so integrated into their social life. That to me it spoke to me volumes as to how can you stop with this tradition. It's been set in stone almost. It almost feels like it's been set in stone for ages and ages, and you're just going to cut that string off. That was so strong and so empowering that I would love to ask her, like, what, I know the complications of the birthing process may have contributed to it. However, I just want to know what made her change so drastically when others could have the same complications and same issues. However, she stood up and said, no, it ends here. That just empowered me to just ask why. Why would that so happen? Now, some of the insights I have gained are that women's health in these remote villages is still very bad, and they are discriminated for not being as educated about medical procedures. What I learned is that there's various efforts to help women in these remote villages to get help and seen by a gynecologist, which was amazing. And after the video ended, there was even more captions about them talking about different efforts going on in order to continue their works. Well, I'd like to say thank you for my last video discussion board, and I hope you have a great winter break.